Hey everyone, this is Raven. I'm here with my recap and review of Hightown season number 2, episode number 9, Small Craft Warning. It's the penultimate episode. Next week is going to be the season 2 finale, and yeah, a lot happened in the penultimate episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in season number 2. And hopefully, Stars ends up renewing this show for a third season because yeah, there are certain plot threads that were left unresolved, and I think that we are going to get some unresolved plot threads in the finale as well. So the episode opens up with Alan helping out Jackie because Alan believes Jackie about Daisy having gone missing and how she's dead, and Frankie killed her, or Jorge killed her, and yeah, Alan is helping her out, and Frankie was able to do her work. She did the entire thing the right way. She even got Daisy's parents involved, and Alan and Jackie have been searching for Daisy's body for a bunch of hours now, and Alan is like, you know what, Jackie, I think we have to call it a day. We are probably never going to find Daisy's body, and it's just part of the job. And Jackie is like, can't we just give it one more hour? And Alan is like, no, because of the field that you're in, you have to realize that sometimes you just can't get what you want. And Alan is basically teaching Jackie when it comes to finding missing bodies. And Jackie is like, yeah, I guess so, but yeah, thanks anyway that you did this for me. Then we cut to Renee, and she is applying makeup on herself, and she gets a text from Ray because Ray is missing her. Ray wants to meet with her, and Renee is like, you know what? Frankie is acting weird. He's being suspicious, so I can't really be very open about meeting you as I was before. But Ray is like, I miss you. Please meet me. And Renee is like, okay, I'll go meet you. So she is about to head out from home. She's like, Frankie, I need to go run some errands. And Frankie's like, hey, stop, come over here. And Renee is like, what is it, Frankie? And he's like, give me your cell phone, Renee. She's like, what? And Frankie is like, yeah, give me your cell phone, okay? We are being watched, or did you forget that we found a tracker under your car yesterday, huh? And Renee hands Frankie her cell phone, and he ends up microwaving it. Yeah, he is like, we can never be safe. The heat is on us. We have to take as many precautions as necessary. And he ends up ruining Renee's phone. And Renee's like, okay, now can I go at least? And Frankie is like, wait. So he ends up calling Giulietta, and it turns out that yeah, whenever Renee is supposed to go out somewhere, Giulietta has to be with her. And also, before that happens, I also like this little conversation between Frankie and Renee, because Frankie tells Renee that Charmaine is coming back and he needs to pick her up. And Renee is like, wait, Charmaine is coming back today? Why didn't you tell me? And Frankie's like, because you didn't need to know. And yeah, that really gets to Renee because she wants to get dirt on Frankie so that she can send him to prison by telling Ray. But yeah, Frankie's like, I'll go pick her up, and you don't necessarily have to involve yourself in the business anymore. So yeah, go with Choletta. He'll be with you. He'll keep an eye on you. And Renee is like, I don't need a babysitter. I'm an adult grown woman. And Frankie's like, no, I can't risk it. So go with Choletta. So Renee goes to the local shop with Gilletta, and Giletta's like, I'll come with you in the shop. And Renee's like, you aren't going to do that, because she does notice Ray waiting for her outside the shop. And she's like, Gilletta, if you come with me into the shop, I am going to tell Frankie that you're a pervert and that you were smelling my tampons and all of that stuff. And Giletta's like, okay, I won't follow you, but get me a Snicker, okay? So Renee walks past Ray, and Ray follows her, and this is where they have a quick conversation. And Ray's like, okay, what's up, Renee? And Renee tells Ray that she's worried, she's scared, that Frankie doesn't trust her anymore, and he's suspicious of her, and he has Gilletta as a bodyguard. She put a man on her, and yeah, she's afraid because the next step is probably going to be Frankie ordering Gilletta to kill her. And Ray is like, you know what, Renee? Let's just go. Let's just run away right now. You and the kid, let's just go. And Renee's like, it's not that easy, Ray. It's not that easy. So Chiletta comes into the shop because he got tired waiting for Renee. And yeah, these two have to part ways. And Renee goes to the cashier, and she's like, you know what, Chiletta? Get your own Snickers. So we cut to Osito, and Osito gets a call from Charmaine, and Charmaine is in New York because she needs to re-up her what can I say? You know what? I'll just say it, even though YouTube has certain policies. But yeah, she's in New York to re-up her stash, And she tells Lucita that, you know what, Lucita, I might not come back. And Lucita's like, wait, what are you talking about? You're leaving the business? And Charmaine is like, no, I'm not leaving the business. I'm just thinking of moving. A whole lot happened in P-Town, so you know what? I'll probably end up moving to New York. And Lucita's like, you know what? You do you. And this is also where Charmaine tells Lucita that if she ever goes missing, that he needs to check for her body at a specific location. And it's the same specific location where we saw Frankie take Charmaine in the previous episode, and where he ended up shooting the pilot. And Lucita remembers the location. And yeah, Charmaine ends up meeting her contact, the driver who's going to take her to her contact, and I guess his name is Ralphie or something. And he kind of has a crush on Charmaine, and he's like, Charmaine, you have to put the blindfold on. And Charmaine is like, okay, so your uncle still doesn't trust me, huh? And he's like, yeah, I don't make the rules, so wear the scarf. It's our maze, so wear it. And Charmaine is like, okay, I'll do that. So Ray decides to go to Jackie because, of course, he's worried about Renee. And Jackie is like, okay, Ray, what's up? And this is where he tells Jackie about Renee giving him a tip about Frankie picking Charmaine up today, and how she'll have a whole lot of stash on her. And this is the moment where they have to act. And Jackie is like, you know what? We got burned by Renee in the previous episode due to that pilot tip that she gave us. And Ray is like, hey, you have to trust me, because Frankie is growing suspicious of Renee as well. She's risking her life to give me this information. You have to trust me, Jackie. And Jackie is like, okay, I know that you're scared. I know that you like Renee, so I'll help you. But this time we're going to do this the right way. We're going to involve Alan. And Ray is like, okay, let's do that. So we get a very interesting scene where all three of them talk about what they're going to do next. And Alan is like, really, Ray, really? And he's also disappointed in Jackie because she's teaming up with Ray. And Jackie is like, hey, I know that we have issues here with Ray, but you need to hear him out. We got a good tip from Renee. We have to act today, because today is the day that that Frankie is going to pick up Charmaine. And yeah, we can finally put Frankie behind bars. Don't you want that, Alan? And yeah, Alan is like, okay, let's do this. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So it turns out that Charmaine won't be using planes anymore, so that only leaves her with two options: travel by boat from New York, or travel by road. And Alan is like, okay, I'll check the bridges. And Jackie, what about you? Jackie's like, well, you forgot that I'm with the fishery service, huh? With the fishery patrol, so I'll check on the boat. And then it's like, you know what, just to be safe, I'll send the team to the plane as well. So let's do this. And I was like, okay, even though this is a penultimate episode, I hope they get to catch Frankie. But and they did by the end of the episode. I was really glad, because I was like, you know what, I don't want this to be another failure, and then we'll have to wait until the finale to see what actually happens with Frankie. So Jackie ends up reconnecting with Ed, and she's like, Ed, I have a tip. We have to go on the boat, and we have to patrol the seas for Charmaine. She'll have drugs. Are you in? And Ed is like, oh, Jackie, of course I am. I'm in. And I also like the fact that these two made up, because Jackie again apologized to Ed. She was sorry for how she treated him, and she also tells Ed a story about how he's the one who ended up teaching her a lot, and how it's because of his teachings that she was able to make a proper case, and that she's just grateful that he's a part of her life, and he's always been supportive of her. And yeah, Ed has a very soft heart when it concerns Jackie. So they bend the relationship, and Ed is like, yeah, one last mission before I retire, okay? And this is where Ray comes in, and Ed is like, really, Ray is going to be with us? He's the reason that you got shot, Jackie. And Ray is like, hey, she's in the security field. It's part of the job. And Jackie is like, hey, we don't have time to do this. Let's just get on the boat. So while Jackie, Ed, and Renee are scouting the seas in order for anything suspicious about anything that might be Charmaine coming back, we cut to Alan and Leslie checking cars over at the two bridges. And yeah, he's like, Leslie, any progress? And Leslie is like, nope, just a whole lot of angry people. And Alan is like, okay, let's just continue doing this. So while these three are talking on the boat, this is where Ray notices something. Ray is like, wait, is that a ferry? Isn't the ferry closed? And Ed is like, no, they do sometimes move a few days a week. And this is where they figure out that, you know what, maybe Charmaine is trying to get us off her trail, and maybe she ended up using the ferry to come back, huh? So let's go and check out the ferry. So yeah, we get an entire sequence where Ed, Ray, and Jackie search through the ferry in order to find Renee. And again, as the entire scene was occurring, I was like, please, 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 don't make this another failure for Jackie. She needs a win. After what happened in the previous episode, she needs a win. But yeah, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So it turns out that Charmaine isn't in the ferry, and yeah, it was disappointing because we get to find out that Charmaine is actually in the bus. She took a bus to come back to New York, and of course, because she's in the bus, one of the bridges has the security force checking the cars and everything. And Charmaine notices that, and Charmaine is like, this is bad. This is bad. I need to figure out something. So while that's happening, Jackie ends up calling Ellen, and she's like, "Hey, Ellen, Sarge, it was a bust. Charmaine is on the ferry." And Ellen is like, "Okay, Jackie, just you know what? Go back to the sea and call me if you find anything suspicious." So as he's talking to Jackie, he notices that someone is getting out of the bus, and he's like, "Wait, what the heck? Who's getting out of the bus?" And he realizes that it's Charmaine. So he chases after Charmaine. He's like, "Charmaine, stop, 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 stop. Don't run, don't run." But yeah, Charmaine continues running, but she doesn't really get very far because there's a whole lot of police around and they catch Charmaine. And this is where Alan again tries to be kind towards Charmaine. He's like, "Charmaine, you don't have to make this more difficult than it already is for you. Just cooperate, work with me, give me the bag that has the drugs in it, and I'll promise to protect you," and all of that stuff. And Charmaine is like, "Yeah, I don't trust you." So she ends up throwing the bag over the fence, and she tries to climb the fence herself. But yeah, I'm like, "Charmaine, really, really, did you really think that this was going to work?" But then again, she was desperate to run away, so I can kind of understand that. And the look that Alan gave Charmaine, he was very, very disappointed. That was a very, very disappointed father look that he gave Charmaine. Because yeah, Charmaine is the kid, and I think that Alan feels for her. He wants her to do right in her life. She still has time, but she just isn't accepting his help. Then Alan ends up calling Jackie, and yeah, Jackie is happy that they ended up catching Charmaine, and she tells Ray, and Ray is like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait." So if Charmaine isn't in the bus, and Frankie is waiting for her at the bus stop, if she doesn't get out of the bus, then Frankie's going to go after Renee, right? "I have to go and find Renee. I have to protect her." So he runs off. So we get a scene where Frankie is waiting for Charmaine to come out of the bus stop, come out of the bus, and yeah, she doesn't because she's been arrested. And Frankie's like, this is bad. So he drives off, and he ends up calling Chioletta, and yeah, Renee, of course, she's already stressed about what Frankie is going to do to her. And Gilletta answers the call, and he's like, "Yep, yep, I understand. I'll do that." And Renee is like, "Okay, so that was Frankie, right? Gilletta, you need to tell me what's happening." And Giletta's like, "We are going for a drive," and dun dun dun, and and the fact that nothing really happened, Gilletta wasn't going to kill Renee. I am like, Gilletta, you could have told her, you could have told her. So Reid tries calling Renee's phone, but of course she's not picking up. He ends up calling Xavier's, and yeah, she isn't Xavier's either. So he's getting very, very stressed out. Then we get a very, very well written scene between Alan, Jackie, and Charmaine, where Alan is trying to get Charmaine to cooperate with him, and he is like, "You know what? If you cooperate with me, if you give me the dirt on Frankie and Jorge, then I'll let you go free. I'll give you a second chance." And Charmin is like, I'm not going to fall for that. I need my lawyer. And of course, again, Alan is very, very angry because he wants Charmaine to do the right thing, but she continues to refuse, and she denies his help. And yeah, this is where Alan is like, "You know what? I've had it. Those 3 kids that were killed because of the drugs that you gave, and your own little sister, all of that is going to be charged on you, and you're going to be tried as an adult," and all of that stuff. And Charmaine is still like, "Nah, get me my lawyer." So as they're talking, Alan gets a phone call, and Alan is like, "You know what? I'm going to go listen to another person's story." The other person ends up being Osito. So if you have 3 seconds to accept my deal. And Charmaine is like, "Nah, I need my lawyer." So Alan walks off, and before he does, he's like, "Jackie, I need you to stay back here." And yeah, Jackie's like, what am I supposed to do staying back here? But yeah, Alan walks off, and Charmaine is like, "You know what? I'm not going to tell you anything, okay?" And Jackie's like, yeah, I get that. I know that you won't be talking to me. And this is where these two kind of bond over the fact that they're both from the same area, and how life turned out very different for both of them. And Jackie talks about Moby Dick, and she is like, you have read Moby Dick, right? And Charmaine answers that, yeah, I have. It was an okay book. And Jackie is like, the white whale? Well, Frankie is my white whale. I just have to go after him because he ended up killing a lot of people, good people, people that I cared about, and he is going to do the same for you. So why are you even protecting him? And Charmaine is like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. And she also warns Jackie that at the end of the book, it wasn't Moby Dick who died, it was the captain. And Jackie's like, yeah, spoiler alert. Then we get to Alan meeting Osito, and yeah, Osito wants to strike a deal with Alan, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to give you information, and in return, I want something from you. And Alan is like, okay, Osito, what do you want? And Osito is like, I need bail. I need to be put up on bail because I need to get out of here. And Alan is like, you know what, I'll see what I can do, but it depends on information. So the information that Osito ends up giving Alan is actually the location that Charmaine told him about, where the dead bodies are buried. And he's like, go check that area. You're going to find a pilot and even more bodies. And Alan is like, okay, I'll go. So yeah, I guess considering the fact that Alan did find a bunch of dead bodies, I think that Osito is going to be put on bail and he's going to be released. But let's see. So Ray decides to break into Renee's house in order to warn her and protect her. But yeah, Renee isn't there. And yeah, it was just, I'm like, Ray, why would you break in? Why would you break into the house? So Jackie ends up calling Ray, and she's like, you know what? Alan found bodies, and Ray is like, identified, and Jackie's like, no, they haven't been identified, but one of the body is male, and the other is female, and Ray is like, text me the address because he thinks that it's that one of the bodies is actually Renee's, and Jackie's like, you know what? Wait for me, Ray. I'm coming there as well. So while that's happening, Frankie decides to go pick up his son from Renee's mother's house, and Renee's mother is like, Frankie, what's happening? Where are you taking my grandson? And Frankie's like, bag off, and he just walks away. So Ray and Jackie arrive at the area, and Leslie isn't happy to see Ray here. And Ray is like, "Hey, I don't have time for this drama. Let's just see who the dead bodies are." So it turns out that there are two dead bodies, and one is, of course, the pilot that was killed in the previous episode, and the other dead body is of Daisy. And Jackie, of course, is very emotional during that scene because yeah, she couldn't protect Daisy, and Alan is like, "Hey, you did good, okay? You did good. You knew that Daisy was missing, she was killed, and you found the body, so at least that's some sort of closure." And as they're talking, one of the team members was like, hey, we found another body. And they're like, wait, another body? So it turns out that they ended up finding Jorge's dead body. He wasn't even buried properly. And yeah, this is where Jackie is like, we need to go and arrest Frankie. Okay, Alan, we have to do that. And Alan is like, we don't have proof. Jackie is like, we have motive. We have to arrest him. I know he did it. You know he did it. We have to go. And Alan is like, okay, let's go. So we cut to Renee and Gilletta, and Renee is like, you're going to kill me here, right? You're going to kill me? And Gilletta's like, just keep walking. So he takes her to that abandoned trailer, and Renee is like, what the heck am I supposed to do in here? And Gilletta's like, well, Frankie told me that you would know what to do here. So yeah, Renee understands that, so she takes out the stash that Frankie hides in the trailer. And she's like, okay, now what? And Gilletta's like, let's go. So they end up going to Xavier's, and Frankie is already waiting for them. And Renee is like, what the heck, Frankie? And Frankie's like, we have to leave. We have to get out of here. We have to get out of the country. And Renee's like, I just can't just get out of the country. And Frankie's like, no, you have to listen to me. We aren't safe here. We have to go right now. And as they're talking, they hear police sirens outside. Frankie and Gilletta go to check it out. And yeah, this is where Frankie ends up getting arrested. And as he's being escorted away, Jackie's like, well, you did your cousin dirty. You couldn't even dig a proper grave for him. And Frankie is like, what the heck are you talking about? But I guess he finally realized that Jorge is dead, and they found his dead body. So as he's being escorted away, this is where Ray comes in, and Ray is like, hey, what's up, pal? And of course, Frankie is very angry at Ray. He tries to hit him. He swears at him, and Ray is just looking at Frankie as he's being taken to the car to be driven off. And yeah, Renee comes out. She's happy to see Ray, and they both hug, and then they kiss, and the episode ends with Frankie looking back. And yeah, this is where he realizes that he was played, that Renee was still in love love with Ray, and yeah, he's going to want to take revenge on Renee. And I'm like, Renee, you need to be careful. You need to be ready for this. And yeah, that was that for the penultimate episode. Of course, I'm looking forward to the finale. I'm very, very excited to see how the show is going to end. At least season 2 is going to end. And yeah, hopefully we'll get news about the season 3 soon. Let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later.